Greetings everyone, how you all doing? As you can see, I'm by my fence again, so that means you know exactly where I am, which is right next to Mrs Winn. So I'm not gonna, this is the next part of the princess duration, if you want to call it that. I've gone as far as I can at the moment with the suspension mount and floor. Basically I don't want to go any further now because I'm waiting for other things to happen which is beyond my control at the moment. So I'm going to jump straight ahead and get on with the sill repair. This should be a quick video, I hope. Depends, you know, I'll get on with this wheel arch because it looks like I'm gonna have to rebuild most of it. I have got some panel that I can use, but I'm not sure how much I can use because that too has already been repaired and been bodged. So it looks like I'm gonna have to go down the route of actually making most of this front part of the section of the wheel arch. So I'm not going to rattle on too much, so I'll just quickly turn you around and show you where we're at. Okay, I've been along most of the sill, especially along the bottom where it meets this lip here. I've been all the way down the front. I've given a good tap, and obviously here is where the hole is or starts, and it goes all the way to the back here. But I've been along the front all the way down, and this little beauty didn't go through, and as you can see I'm not being gentle with it. Basically I want to know this car's right. I mean, an MOT tester basically taps the sills with a little toffee hammer, and if that goes through then it's so if this ain't going to go through, that I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to cut to about here. I want some good metal to work with, so I know that this is actually really good. I think that confirms that. I'm going to chop out most of this. Actually, some of this sill, it's only gone down the bottom here, so I'm not going to cut too much out where I don't need to. As you can see, the trim's been removed. Not sure. Again, I'm going to have to just start cutting basically and see how I get on to see what I can use and what I can't use. I've got a feeling I'm going to have to rebuild this, so I wish I had an anvil. I wish I had rollers and things like that and metal benders, but I don't. So this is going to be a little bit of not budget and scarper, but what I do in the process of this is going to be a little bit orthodox, and it's going to have to, it's going to be, it is what it is. So there you go, that's the first part, so bear with me, I'll be back in a bit when I've cut this out. Okay, we got holes and holes and more holes and a big hole. Okay, right, there's a little repair I'll need to do on the lip down here. That's no problem because the metal's good inside there, so it's just a case of welding on the lip here, so I've got something to go on for my sill, which I can actually weld it to that anyway, so that's no big deal. The big deal is here, and obviously here. I need a plan. So the plan. I've decided that I'm going to, I basically can't use anything off the other one because it's not there to use, unfortunately. So I am going to repair the sill in sections. I'm not going to try to, there's too many curves. I've got the curves of the sill, and then I've got the sweep outwards, and then matching it all up to the rest of the wheel arch is just going to be too much of a challenge, if you like. I'm always up for a challenge, but sometimes I know when I'm, you know, I know when I'm beaten. So I'm gonna have to do it in smaller sections, I think. If I'll just spin you around now and I'll just show you what I mean. Yeah, right. So I've cut out a nice big section of the sill there, as you can see. Just pan out a little, there we go. So I've cut out a nice big section. I've had to put a little repair in there because I misjudged it the other side of the jacking point, but that's just there basically so I can actually weld my repair section too. Up here, basically, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to weld a new section in up to here. So that's that all sorted, that will be taken care of, and I'll show you that repair section that I've made in a little while. Here, I think I'm going to have to, I'm going to cut it here. I think here and here, and make this another section, which will be pretty simple to do. And then this bit I'm gonna have to try and make something and shape it to fit. I don't know how much I'm gonna have to. I'm just gonna cut this back in stages just to see how far I've got with good metal there. But I'm not worried about this bit right now. Then I've got this section to repair here as well. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to plate this section first. I know it's small fiddly little bits, but basically if I can weld all this up on the bench as lots of small different sections, I'm pretty confident that I can get, if I do, yeah, so what I'm going to do, this bit first, then I'll concentrate on this bit. So then this section all here hopefully will be one complete piece there. Originally on the Princess, the sill came along to there anyway, along this line here. So if I was to be able to get hold of another sill, which is, I think, is virtually impossible now. I know the old Princess Club had some cover sills, which was basically you just weld over the top here. You don't cut anything out. If you don't want to, you literally just weld onto the top. That is not what I wanted to do. I want to cut out metal and replace metal, which I think is the best way to go. So even if I was to get a repair section anyway, it would come to here anyway, and this part of the wheel arch is obviously separate to the sill as originally manufactured. And what they had then was a plastic finisher, a black plastic finisher that went here basically to cover up the join that was. So I think what I'm going to actually do is go back to original spec. So I'm going to cut this out. So there'll be that section. Then I'll concentrate on this section, which is just, there's a few curves there, but I'm pretty sure I can be able to hammer something into shape. And then I can just concentrate on this little section here. So my repair panel for the sill. Sorry, I've rattled on a bit there, haven't I? I've been waffling. Waffle. More waffle than bird's eye, if at all possible. Right, so this is the repair section I've made just for this little panel here that finishes off that sill basically. As you can see there, I've put a little recess and a little handle so I can pull it in and pull it tight, and I can just grind that off, and then when I need to pull it down. So basically this goes on, and the little recess there tucks underneath my original metal there, and that gives me a nice join to weld to. Not sure if the camera picks it up very well, but it basically means I've not got too much weld gobbed over the top. So if I can show you a side-on section as to what it does. So the metal basically overlaps. I've got a tool in the shed. Basically it's like a pair of pliers. I tell you what, I'll go and get it. Hang on. So this is the tool in question, and basically if you have a look up there, there is a notched platform, and what you do, you pull it together and it crimps your metal, it crimps the edge on. I could do you a little demonstration like so. and squeeze this together. It is quite difficult one-handed. There we go. So that's, there we go. See if your camera can pick that up there. That's now crimped together, which gives you this kind of result. So that then leaves me with a nice flat panel. If you're doing it on a flat sheet, obviously mine's curved at the moment for the sill, but there you can see there you'd fill that there with your weld, and then when you grind it back to finish it off, it will should all be nice and flush, providing you do get a good weld there. So yeah, that's the plan. Whether it'll work is anyone's guess. See in a bit. And with the miracle of the pause button, wait for the train to go past. Okay, with the miracle of the pause button, there's the repair panel in place. Fairly smooth, no cuts, look at that. And as you can see there, I've rolled the edges underneath to match the other panel, as well as spot welded as well. So that is how it's, the rest of the sill forms. So that should satisfy the MOT tester. I hope. Right then, let's yeah, let's get cutting. See you in a bit. And we're back again. I've had a change of clothes because I've stopped halfway through doing this video. Had my tea, had a wash, and I thought I'll come back out and do some more. So yeah, I've made another little repair panel in the last couple of hours. I'll spin you around so you can have a look. So that's the start of the top end of the sill and wheel arch. Let me just pan out a little. There we go. It's an absolute nightmare to get this curve here, starting from there, and also to get this profile curving that way as well. So it's took a bit of time to do that. Obviously I needed something to weld to, so basically I'm just going to cut all this out, and that will sit in there like so. So that's the start of the top end of the sill there. So that can be, once I've cut out this, obviously this bad metal here, this can go in its place. I will be cutting this wheel arch out altogether. It's just not worth me prattling around trying to repair that. There's just no point. I'll be wasting my time. So what I'll do is that when I know that this is going in, I'll be cutting that out. But what I'll be doing before this is welded in, I'll be making the rest of this upper part. So basically this is just the start of the panel. I'm now going to disappear again, and I'll cut out the metal I need for here, up here, and I'll go into here as well. So if I can get it right bit by bit before I actually weld it in, I'm actually going to try and build this part up as well, so it can literally just go all in one go. Good fun, eh? That it's never ending. It's still going on. Yeah, all good, just doing bit by bit. And obviously, you know, I'm not going to claim to be an expert welder or expert panel beater. I'm not by any means, so I'm kind of having to make this up as I go along. I've got really nobody to call upon who's an expert in either. So yeah, it's just a case of doing it bit by bit, and not budget and scarper, but more or less. So more updates soon, or carry on watching the video if Ricky decides to do it this way. But yeah, see you in a while. Well, none of that worked. Plan A turned into plan B, plan B turned into plan C, and so on and so forth. Right. Yeah, none of that worked. It all went completely belly up. I've actually welded everything in twice, 3 times. I was losing all hope, if I'm honest. I was almost gave up. Not really, but yeah. No, basically I ended up cutting out more than I wanted to. My welder decided it didn't want to play anymore, so I've had to repair that, put new tips in, new shroud on the end as well. Yeah, ran out of gas. But anyway, we're still moving forward, and we're going at a fairly quick pace, to be honest. I didn't take any videos of my cock-ups because I didn't want to, and everything I'd recorded anyway just looked crap. So, and I was making myself look a bit of a tit, if I'm honest. So I can do that on my own anyway, but I don't need a video to prove that. Anyway, where are we? So we are well ahead. And there we go. Right, that's, I've just coated everything with a bit of black paint because I didn't want any more moisture getting into everything, turning everything rusty again, so I'd have to start again with it. So, but as you can see here, look at that, I've got a bit of a wheel arch there. So if I open the door here, it's not pretty, and I'm not pretending it's pretty. Let's just zoom out a little bit, that's a bit better. I can't really get in there to linish this off properly, but it doesn't really matter because I still need to build this up with a little bit of filler anyway, and I'm obviously not going to use that much as compared to what was on the car anyway. But all this is now absolutely solid and repaired. So the only thing I really need to work on is just this panel gap here. That's basically because I had to take so much filler away to get back to the original metal in order for me to weld the new part on. So there's as much as I didn't want to use any filler, I don't think it can be helped anyway with any repair, so I'm going to have to just do a light skim. Same with the bottom of the sill there, just give it a light skim just to tidy it up. But we're good to go. I'm getting quite pleased. So panel gap's looking pretty good, especially down here. It's almost as good as what it should be up here. It's just, like I say, it's a shame about this, but I've got to work with what I've got, so make do amend. Right, moving on. So the next time you see the car, I'm probably going to do a little bit for the next video where I just dress this up with a bit of filler, which will be in the next batch of videos. From there I'm going to move on to the C-pillars. As you can see, I've took the vinyl off. See, I need to address these holes anyway. I know the trim is going to go over there, but I need to linish all this back, smooth it all off. There will be no vinyl going back on these panels because I think it just looks crap, if I'm honest. I mean, it looked good in the 70s and early 80s, but I just think it's awful looking stuff. So these panels will be satin black to match the door, tops of the door frames there. I think I did mention this before, so I think that's what I'm going to continue on with next. Also, next up is for me to get the front of the car up in the air, so I can get my wheels off and get the suspension units off to be re-gassed. So once those come back, I'm guessing it will be a week later from today. Obviously you'll see it later on. So I think for a week from now, hopefully I will get them back and I can get the car back on its wheels. In between that time, I'm going to work on the C panels, as I've just mentioned, and also I'm going to drop the fuel tank out. It's up there somewhere. There we go, it's up there. I'm going to drop the fuel tank out because everywhere under here is going to get a coat of Gravitex. We use it at work, and it's really good stuff, especially on the counterbalance part of the forklift, where it always gets bashed and whatever. It goes on really thick, so it's going to hide a lot of my crappy repairs anyway. Like I say, they'll get a coat of filler, but everything underneath here will get a coat of Gravitex anyway. Once I've got the tank out, got everything Gravitexed up and got rid of all the old underseal and whatnot, I can then actually go ahead and put the cross tube back in and get the suspension all back together and get it on its wheels, so I can move it around the drive, because I can't really do much stuck up this corner. My mistake, I didn't leave myself enough room. As you can see, I'm just wedged up the corner here, and it's getting a bit tight, but it is what it is. But it's all good, it's all good, it's all good. So yes, there will be future videos. I will just take them now as and when. I've done the hardest part. I was actually losing all hope with this wheel arch. It was going from bad to worse, if I'm honest. But you take stock, go back to the beginning, and you start again. At the end of the day, it's only metal, and metal can be replaced, repaired, welded, whatever. So yeah, good. So thanks very much for still watching. I'm glad you're all still here. Thanks for the thumbs up and the comments, as per usual. So I'll see you very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Cheers.